Sparkle Jets. This is our podcast. It's called Best of Friends. Here we go now, yeah!
Hi, everybody. Welcome to our little podcast. This is Mike from Sparkle Jets UK. I'm here today with my bandmates Susan West.
Hi.
And Jamie Knight.
Hello.
And our dogs, Georgie and Winston.
Yay! We don't go anywhere without our dogs.
No, why would you?
Yes, we do, but we don't want to. I wish I could bring them to work every day. That'd be interesting. So we're hanging out here talking about our new project called Best of Friends, which is out on Big Stir Records June 30th, 2023. And it's a wacky idea, 20 years in the making, where we had this crazy idea to record a bunch of songs by our friends that we had just met in the pop scene in Los Angeles. And we finally went and just did it. And to celebrate that and talk about it, we're here meeting with all of our friends who we recorded songs that they wrote. And today, right now, we have with us the amazing Lisa Jenio and Danny McGough of Candypants. Woo-hoo! Everybody.
Hey. Hi.
Danny, I did say that name right, sure. Correct? Yeah. I mean, I've heard a lot of people do it. I never know if they're just messing with you.
No, yeah.
Or not.
It's half of a nickname, but it's close enough. It's always since I was in first grade. So.
Oh yeah. Can you elaborate? I'm really fascinated.
Well, the name's actually pronounced McGough.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Okay. That makes
because there used to be an E in it. Similar to the guy that played guitar in Magazine and all that. His name was pronounced McGough, but he kept the E. I
always thought it was McGuff or McGough or or something like that.
I was always suspicious that it was McGough because there's like Guff Street and Goff is a common pronunciation.
And Vincent Van Gogh.
Sort of. And I thought, but I was able to, with the thanks to the internet, I was able to find McGough was the actual pronunciation, at least of my branch of that.
Wow.
And maybe that's where they got Mr. Magoo from, and it just was more fun to just spell it with G-O-O.
Yeah. Well, I always thought, and then wasn't it? Was it M-A-G-O-O on that too?
Mm-hmm.
I think so. Yeah. There you go. Well, I'm glad we cleared that up. I mean, 20 years I've been wondering what I never actually had the talk with you, so I'm glad that got.
I never had the talk.
Yeah, we didn't. It's high time. I've got something awesome to reveal.
Too late to learn.
I mean, if I need to promote this podcast, I'm leading with that story. Find out about Danny's name. Here we go.
Intricacies. Yes.
Now we should talk about Lisa's Candypants.
Yes.
Next subject.
Okay.
I do have a Candypants poster hanging in my laundry room. Not because that's where all my posters of its ilk are, not just because of you or the laundry room specifically, but it's definitely one people notice when they come through. In fact, I think it was Mike Schnee was here last week, and he walked through there looking at the posters. He goes, "Oh, look, it's Lisa's. It's Lisa. It's Lisa's pants."
The thing with Mike is he loves doing laundry at other people's houses. It's like it gets annoying, but
anyway, let's talk about whatever. Oh, we can actually play. We can play some music if you'd like. We've been playing all the songs so that people can hear them. So we did the song. Boy, it was really tough picking one. Yes, Susan.
Yes.
And we kind of ended up picking the low hanging fruit and did I Want a Pony. It's just, it's the hit, right? There's a lot of them on there, but that's kind of the one.
Well,
but also we'd done it before.
Right. But also if we didn't do it, everybody would say, "Oh, that's nice, but why didn't you do, I Want a Pony too?" So people had opinions about Candypants.
You got to give
I remember there was a point in time where I guess Danny was too busy doing something else. So we had to, and all the band were not available for a show. So we were the fill-in Candypants for at least one show.
Oh, that's right. That was at the Girls show. Jeez.
So we had to learn, we learned a few songs. I think we did Mandalay and of course what's that other
Cherry
one?
Picker?
I don't think we did Cherry Picker. We did Pony, Mandalay, and what's that other one? At least three. There was another one too. I'm drawing a blank.
Didn't we do something at the Kibitz room?
Oh,
It could
Didn't I
be.
sing with?
I could
Oh,
look.
with
I could
you.
look it up. We did a few things, and then there was those some of those little girl shows that we did where we it might have been more than one thing. But we also you don't know this probably, but we were on tour once, and we were in North Carolina in a studio. We had Robbie Rist along with us because his band was on the road with us, but he was our drummer that week, and
drummers.
and we were like, what are we going to record? We had that recording date set up, and we just decided, do I Want a Pony? So we did this kind of crazy, loud punk rock version of that song. And we never really did anything with it because we didn't. And so when it came to do this, I said, I'm just going to lean into that. And what was really even more weird is I'd done a stand-in bass part when I was tracking a lot of the guitars and things. And when Jamie came over, he did a totally different thing. He's like, no, just leave them both on. And it ended up, and I also had a synth bass. So this song has 3 basses, and then I had we had Joel doing some drum track, and because he has a better sounding kit than I do, so on a few songs I played drums, and we ended up leaving mine on. So there's 2 drum sets and 3 basses on the song.
Oh, that's why it rocks so hard.
That's it. Big bottom.
Big bottom.
About mud flaps.
Mom, I wanna be an astronaut. Buy me a rocket ship so I can sail to Mars. I don't wanna fly an Apollo. Buy me the Enterprise, or I don't wanna go. Mom, I wanna be the president. Buy me votes, pay my rent, or maybe writing novels would be fun. Mommy, hire me a novelist to write me one. Mom, I wanna be a movie queen. Buy me the cover of Premiere magazine. I'm way funnier than Jalen now. Buy me a motorcycle and a TV show. Can a model win a Nobel Prize? Buy me rings, life will suck my thighs. Hurry, hurry, I don't have all day. If you love me, mommy, you'll do what I say. Pony up, pony up, pony up. I want a pony, I want a pony, I want a pony, I want a pony now. Mom, I said I want to be an astronaut. Buy me a rocket ship so I can sail to Mars. I don't want to fly an Apollo. Buy me the Enterprise, or I don't want to go. Mom, I want to be the king of pop. Buy me fans, hurry up. I just want to be a millionaire. You'll die and leave me money if you really care. Pony up, pony up, pony up. I want a pony, I want a pony, I want a pony, I want a pony now. Now! I want a pony, 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 pony up.
Yay.
Yeah, great.
Give her that pony, for God's sake.
Jeez.
So demanding.
Yeah. I don't know if you heard. I think you heard at the beginning where there's a voice that comes in and goes, "Hi there." Well, that was.
I didn't know what you were saying.
It's a long story, but two of the Beatles made an appearance on this song as well. Yeah, okay. You know, at the end of the song where you say "now," right? Well, there's a thing that that reminded me of one of the Beatles' Christmas messages.
And I hand you to George, who'll speak to you.
Now! So I cut that in to put along with us. So he's making that contribution. And then right after that, George says,
"Thank you, John. Thank you. Hi there."
Which I still had in the thing. And I go, I want to use that too. So I stuck it in. So there you go. Wow. There was some trivia. See, I added some quality content to this podcast, everybody. All right. You're muted, Suze.
Oh, yeah. I know it's a fun, silly, fun song, but can you guys tell us anything about when you wrote it? Was there, does she get her pony? What? Yeah. Does she know how to ride that pony? Can you remember it?
Does she get a spanking? Does she want a spanking?
She really wants, yeah.
But it's really a political song. It is about George Bush presidency and all that. Just because coming from a very privileged life and having your dad take care of everything.
Yeah, it's not someone having things handed to him.
Dude, I never even thought of that. No way. Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Well, the buy me votes, pay my rent was like, that's the direct reference.
Yeah. And
that's how old the song is. George Bush was the worst president of all time. And things have changed.
Which Bush? It must have been the second. That's not that old.
Yeah, Bush too.
I really got things handed.
But the the intro actually we were kind of going like, well, let's make this kind of 60s and 70s sounding. So we as a rhythmic template, we wanted the Trogs tapes, if you're familiar with that. Dubba 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 chuck. That whole thing is essentially the rhythm that we chose, and then we overlaid a song by Captain Beefheart called Ashtray Heart, which sort of it has a similar. It's like a really aggressive Telecaster sound on that thing. So that's kind of where where conceptually we're in making the song work.
How did you guys record it?
And I say we when I had nothing to do.
Come on.
I just sat there going, yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the important. Gotta make the singer happy. If you're screwed if that's not happening.
Well, where did you guys record that?
That was here in my living room.
Sweet.
Yeah, the studio is outside now in the backyard, but it was in. It just took over my house.
Is that the living room we're looking at right now on our little screen? No,
this is the back studio, the garage.
Oh,
studio.
you're in the new studio. Nice.
Yes.
Well, fabulous. I'm unaware of this. Where are you guys at? Silver Lake or something?
It's Eagle Rock.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Where all good things seem to emanate.
Eagle Rock.
It is.
Rocks.
Evil Rock.
Well, so okay.
Hey, wait, can I ask you something about your recording?
Sure.
There's a bass part at the intro and then through the first verse, and it almost sounds like it's going to be Everyday People. And I was wondering if that was intentional and who played that. And I love it. I love that little part.
Well, let's see. I know I was kind of ripping off the Joe Walsh song. What's Life's Been Good.
Oh.
That's what I did on my thing.
No,
I can't
I
speak
was
for Jamie. He might have been doing some
just
Sly.
Trying to keep it grooving. Because Mike had a Hofner bass with all of those little dweedly things you hear. That's him. And then the big washes were the synth bass. And I was the groove pushing it along.
That happens sometimes. I get really impatient when I'm tracking. And I really want to hear the whole thing, and it's not going to be any good unless there's bass. And then I patiently wait for not patiently, but I wait for Jamie to come and do his final bit. And every once in a while, he'll just go like, just leave that dweedly thing on, just to appease me. I don't always do it, but sometimes I do. So thank you, Jamie, for putting up with that. But I think it makes the song definitely a little unique.
That was good dweedle.
Cool,
I love it.
And it's funny that it's literally got three basses. And it does do the riff from Big Bottom. I don't know if you noticed that. It does that too.
Mom, I wanna be the president. Buy me votes, pay my rent.
So yeah, we were really putting a lot of dumb references in it.
That business. Yeah.
Yep.
It's cool. Good idea.
I'm like, Jamie, just play this right here. What? No, trust me, just do it. Then I had to pop on and that must have happened after he came, because then all of a sudden it was 3 basses, or maybe I knew he was coming and then I don't know how that happened. Anyway, can you guys tell us about Candypants in general? How'd that whole thing happen? Because we weren't there probably when you started it, and I've always wondered.
Was the Barbie doll thing the first thing? Or we started writing songs together, Lisa and I, and then George also, and we were
we had your song Monkey Boy was an old song.
Yes, that was a song that George and I had from another band. You rewrote
with
the
different
lyrics.
words,
and
I made it dumb.
You made it, yeah, it was great. And then my manager hooked us up with Mattel and CBS, who were doing, or Sony, I guess, and they were doing, like, Barbie was putting a band together, and she needed songs, and so we were tasked with writing songs for Barbie and her 2 pals to sing.
And we picked Think Pink because that was the motto of Hustler, where I worked.
No, that was Mattel. Mattel actually. I was like, God, do you guys have any song? What songs would Barbie want to sing? And they gave me a list of song titles, and one of them was Think Pink, which was hilarious. And
they didn't know that was Larry Flint's motto.
And there used to be like billboards all over LA that said Think Pink. You know, when they went, it would. It was a different time, and
more innocent.
I'm
turning pink right now.
I'm naturally that way. And then so we did Think Pink, and they loved it and everything. And it was like that. Yeah, we actually made money from it, but although not as much as we had imagined.
Because of the fourth writer.
Oh yeah, there's that. Because we were like one of the Hudson brothers was producing the actual record, and then. They thought your voice was too masculine. The Mattel executives, which is like
I auditioned for the Barbie, and like she sounds like a boy, but I sort of do. I could see it. I sound like a woman trying to do a boy's voice in a cartoon, like in a. Bart Simpson is a lady actually. So
that's kind of true.
Yeah, I could see that. I don't take offense. So, I could have made some money, but I don't take.
And then the Spice Girls were really big at the time. So the guy that
when was this 98
something like that, yeah. And then they made a whole record and
Beyond Pink was the name of the band.
They fired the Hudson brother guy and brought in this other guy, and then him and his wife wrote all these songs for the rest of the record, and it sounded like the Spice Girls. And then Capitol Records thought we were like the Spice Girls, I think somehow through that, and signed us to a singles deal, which is really weird in the 90s to get a singles deal, because it's like,
now it would be great.
Nobody wanted, but they gave us money, and it all they went through
hell.
And here we are today. The president of the company left. It was just all that kind of label politics and stuff like that. And our A&R guy said, "Okay, if we just keep our heads down, you can get out of this deal." And so we did. And then Will Long Gone John put the record out. And
Sympathy.
Yeah,
you guys were one of the only bands from that time that actually, still did a vinyl LP.
Yeah,
because John loved vinyl. Long Gone John.
And I bought probably one of the last ones, and I hadn't really got back into that. So I still had a sealed copy of it for a long, long time. I did open it and played the sucker though, because I wanted.
Why not?
But I was happy to have one. It's pretty cool. If you ever come down here, I'll have you sign it.
Sure.
Yeah. It's the funny thing you mentioned that Barbie around that time, because a really good friend of ours, Melissa Caldretti, as far as I know, probably right about then, ended up being the singing voice for Barbie.
Oh,
she might have been
in a ton of Barbie movies. She's a professional singer.
I wonder if that's
like a soprano. They probably wanted a soprano, and that must be why. Well, I would never think of you as anything but a girly voice, because that's kind of your bag. If no one's heard Candypants,
at least didn't think masculine.
Right.
Well, that's why
that
they
was
made
the whole.
over at Capitol.
Yeah, they've always like
Oh,
they were
remember
dragged kicking and screaming to sign the Beatles.
Yeah, there's another. They gave us a list of. They loved Think Pink. They're like, well, here, do another one. They sent us a list of titles, and one was Bad Hair Day. So we're like, oh, let's write Bad Hair Day. Wrote it, submitted it. Like Barbie would never have a bad hair day.
No,
So why did you give us?
And then they asked if we could change it to Good Hair
Good
Day.
Hair Day.
Yeah, but it's like, okay, Barbie. The way the song, at least had written the song, it's like Barbie wakes up and her hair is a mess, and so she calls up her compatriots to come over and fix her hair, and it's like, oh, it's really, and then it has a happy ending because her hair looks bitchin' at the end.
Yeah.
But then it's like
Positivity.
And then so when they suggested Good Hair Day, that we rewrite it to be Good Hair Day, like I was like, okay, Barbie picks up her phone, she calls up her friends and goes, hey man, my hair's looking really, really cool. And they're like, fuck you, you bitch. And like girls wouldn't come over to your house. Like if you, oh yeah, I'm really impressed that your hair looks good today. Thanks.
Good for
Barbie.
you.
This would be a more fun song.
Yeah.
And more true to life.
Take that, Skipper.
Growing Skipper. Push your boobs back down to your
Yeah, because the
torso.
the friend that you called
Get out of here.
to say that you were having a good hair day, she'd say, "Yeah, come on over here," and she'd know that the wind was blowing and messing up your hair. So
Yeah,
it's a mixed bag. Yeah,
It's not raining that hard.
It could have just been about going in the convertible. It's like we all went partying down to Malibu in our convertible, and now we have bad hair. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
No, Barbie's not allowed to have bad hair.
Yeah. But she comes with a comb, right? You can buy the Barbie beauty.
Kind of the point, isn't it?
Barbie had that you could.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Clearly, she needs some help with her hair, but no, I think that was an excuse.
yeah, they were just kind of
Some idiot in a suit.
yeah. Like, these people don't know Barbie like we do.
Yeah.
Basically, anyone that tells a band what they should do.
Yeah. Well,
That's what I have to say.
no,
about
we
that.
would.
that's
If they're talking to us at all, it's a nice conversation. That means they like you
Is it?
and they want to give you money, maybe, and then you got to do some nasty things and have a bad hair day. I don't know.
Well, I know our label would never do that. Well,
And he was lovely. He never told us what to
yeah.
do.
Well, he wanted us to put every song in G because that's the magical key. But we
is that right? Oh shit!
That's
yeah,
why.
I'm just making that up.
How do I just got to write this down? Hold on a second. Thanks for that tip. I really. I think we do way too many songs in A. Actually, almost every song I write is in G. I think that's my key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do
It's
it.
kind of bad. I have to break it up.
You're all good.
No, I told you I was listening to In and Around Greg Lake. You guys cover.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could sing that high. You sound really great. I don't know if you listened to that. Their Wonderman's cover for this. Just throwing it out there. Love your singing on that.
Well, thank you. That was really fun to do. Hard. That was the hardest song probably on the whole.
Yeah.
And those crazy keyboard, those chords. I still don't know how I figured that out, and I couldn't do it again. I could tell you that. I'd have to really study. I didn't ask him though. I did not. I was tempted to go. So how does this go? But I did. I had to keep my pride. And yeah. Although I probably asked for a lyric or something. I tend to have. I never. But no, that was really fun. It was hard to pick one of those songs too. But I knew I wanted to do something from Bally because that was the record when we all were first friendly. Well, I owned the first Wonderman's album anyway, just as I bought it at a record store because I knew I would like it before I knew anything. But yeah. Anyway. But that was a fun time. But meeting you guys was great. You guys always played shows with us or invited us, or whenever we did some weird big show, you were always there. You did a couple of our record release parties. Yeah.
We played. I can't believe how much we all played. You know, how many opportunities there were to play and how many places.
Back in the olden days.
Yeah. For all you kids out there. There used to be a lot of small clubs, and you could play, and it felt, it was fun. It felt like a family. All the bands supported each other, and
Cost $8. Yeah, or something.
We got paid $5.
You got paid? What the hell?
Wait a minute.
Well, we were a Capitol singles band.
There you go. I don't ever remember getting paid for original shows. I don't think that ever happened to us.
I don't know.
At least not to me. I didn't know about it. They might have got paid. Did you guys get paid? Not tell me.
with the White Stripes really liked us because we were also on the same label.
I remember.
And so they took us on a West Coast tour, and we always got $100.
Remember, we went to San Francisco and they paid us $200 for the whole band.
Yeah.
But
Ooh.
we'd have done it for free just to go up there and play with them.
And then I had to walk over to the Salvation Army with George because he only brought tennis shoes and he needed hard shoes for the show. And so we walked across the street from the Fillmore and he found some wingtips. And we're walking back, and it says, "Tonight, the White Stripes and Candy Parts."
And they printed posters that said Candy Parts.
So I went to the production office, and they're the sweetest people in the world that run the Fillmore. They're great. It's like the best place. And I was like, "Can you turn that off, please? Because it's killing me." And he was like, "Well, there's nothing really we can do about it. The guy with the key for that's gone, or whatever." But so he pulled out a jumbo bottle of Jameson and goes, "Here, have this."
Okay.
Made it all go
We're
away.
like, "Okay, yeah, we're good."
Well, that's like a real goal for any rock band is play the Fillmore. And one of the big perks, if there is one, is that some fancy artist, some hippie artist, got to make a poster. So that actually happened, and the name of the band was wrong.
It's wrong. But it's funny because Meg White signed it, and she said, "What did she write? To my favorite candy part?" Like, it's a nice thing to have, I guess.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, that seemed like, well, that's the way it goes for Candypants. So we get so close.
Yeah, I remember when that tour happened. It was like, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my God,
Wow.
look at that.
Candy Parts.
That's cool. Y'all need to send me a photo of that.
Oh, so close.
And I remember it's cool because their logo was like their whole thing was that peppermint, candy. And so it all worked out. Did they make you guys? Well, no, of course you wouldn't have been allowed to wear their colors. You would have got.
Yeah, I don't remember what they were really sweet. We didn't know.
They were just, well, I think they weren't even aware of how popular they were.
Yeah, that was kind of.
It was right before they broke big.
Yeah. Well, Jack was very excited at that show in particular because he just bought a 12-passenger van. It was like, you ever heard of helicopters? You guys could, you'd be all right.
Yeah, that was it was right after that.
Yeah.
That they
really got away from, or they signed whatever it was, Virgin Records.
Yeah.
Like
That was right after that.
I remember being at the Troubadour and we were at a show. I don't remember who we were watching. But the two of them walked in and they were wearing those same outfit they did on their, like that album where they had the big flat hats and then he's holding the apple or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they must have just done that photo shoot. They're wearing those exact clothes when they walked in there and they were really nice to us. Yeah. But man, they were like, they're tall as hell. Yeah. He's like really big and she's huge because she looks so small because he's so tall. She looks normal or kind of short, but no, she was taller than all of us too. They're monstrously large people.
Big stars, literally.
Sorry, I interrupted your flow there.
Oh no! I was just gonna say when we played the Fillmore, they liked us, but their audience didn't necessarily like us.
Being the opening act is
and there's that too.
Hard,
But we sold a whole bunch of T-shirts to the staff. Of the Fillmore, so we're like, oh well.
Yeah, the staff of the Fillmore is just are lovely, and they are notoriously lovely.
Yeah.
Well, I think we got to go with you to the Fillmore years later. The one time I've been there, I'm pretty sure you were there because y'all were doing the Negro Problem tour with Blondie.
Oh.
Remember that?
Yeah. Yeah. I remember playing the Wiltern. I don't remember going to the Fillmore.
Well, unless you had to have been there because Susan wasn't
both
filling
there,
in
Lisa.
for you.
Yeah. That was. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is so bad how I don't remember the things that are actually really cool.
Was that when Clem Burke was playing drums?
Yeah. Blondie. Yeah.
Wow. I definitely remember Susan. I remember standing next to you doing the Negro Problem stuff, singing, and I blocked out. I can't remember the place. There it was.
Well, there was the Fillmore was like a day or two before the Wiltern show. They were the same weekend.
Oh, was that when we were staying at a motel and someone broke through one of the
Phoenix?
windows? Yeah.
It could be the Phoenix.
There's a lot of drama that night. Yeah, it was kind of scary. Yeah, it was a really bad part of
Phoenix or something. Probably.
I don't
It's like an old
the Phoenix.
Yeah, and we were like in the
Jeez.
someone's room. Yeah, it was.
There's a lot of raising that goes on.
Yeah.
There. Every time I ever stayed at that hotel, I always threw the TV guide in the pool.
Every time I've stayed there, I'd look out my window and see somebody doing a drug deal outside.
Oh, there was a big party there that when we were there, it was San Francisco Weekly or something. They had taken over the whole pool area. I don't know.
Yeah, they had the DJs and everything. We stayed there a number of different little tours over the years. We were just talking about it yesterday with some
There's
guys.
always gunshots.
Yeah. Something.
Yeah.
But it was a nice place. I like.
Hey, I'm going on the road. I miss those days.
Let's do it again. But like Stu says, it'll be a vacation with guitars.
That's right.
It always was for us. We never did anything too crazy where it was always motels, and we never did the whole actual get on a tour bus thing. We did a couple times where we did drive our own actual minivan, but that only happened a couple times. We did rent a bus once. Yeah, but it's a lot of the time we would just go to the metro area where we were going to play and then worked it from there. And there was always hotels and planes involved. But it sounds good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we had the Fillmore.
We were a lot younger. And
If you can do it,
we can rough it. I don't know if I could do it now.
No.
I want to ask too about George Baby Woods, who's suspiciously missing over your shoulder there. Somebody I know is related to him. Do any of you guys remember who it is? It might be Anth, because he's also related to another guy in another band that we know, but I think it might be George.
I know his sister.
his family. I've known George since 1985 or something. So I know all his family.
There's been a number of people that we've met through school over in Huntington, working there, that were related to people from the pop, like Daniel Mendoza. I know Daniel Mendoza from the Groove Diggers. He did another thing. I can't remember. It was even bigger than that. But he was definitely related to Anthony. But I think George. There's a couple situations. Anyway, I thought maybe that was somebody would remember. One of you guys remember, but my glasses back on. Susan doesn't like me.
I'm going to have to pop out for about 5 minutes.
Oh,
Is
to
that
take
okay?
Sonia?
Yeah.
Oh, you just have me now.
Okay. So,
Uh-oh. We have to talk to Lisa? Okay, now that he's gone finally.
What's that?
Now that he's finally gone, let's get the real dirt.
All right. Well, what should we talk about?
Well, I'm not going to ask you about your old job. You already kind of blew that. I figured, that's just not worth talking about because it's not interesting at all. But for those of you who have never heard Candypants, and shame on you, and hopefully that's something we can rectify here. We're going to I'll play one of your songs in a second. You guys were great because you kind of had this kind of cutesy / vaudeville kind of deal going, but all the songs were always really good. And then you would bust out a flute all the time and play that, which was always cool. And we always immediately for the first time we saw you, we really loved your whole vibe. It was pretty unique and pretty fantastic. You did also very kindly play on our second album. Did a little flute bit that I made you do. That was awesome.
I'm honored.
What else?
I play flute for a lot of people, and they don't know that I can't really play.
Fooled us. But
See,
you play flute better than we do, so already you're ahead of the game.
I hold it in the right. Do you ever see cartoons or people holding flute the wrong way? It always drives me crazy. Or they go
over the top?
Yeah.
Really?
When people draw people playing flute.
Just ridiculous.
I know.
So have you played many flutes? Pan flutes?
No, I can't even. I've never even played piccolo. Just a regular old flute.
So is there anything that you're doing musically now as far as, continuing playing or just enjoying life?
Well, Candypants, we've done some more recordings. We're just trying to figure out what we want to do. And I play some flute on that. And what else?
Well, that's pretty big news.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't be talking about that. I don't like talking about stuff when it's not.
Well, then another thing along that line, since you played our last record release party, if we do wind up having a live component to the record release party, do you think you'd be interested in that?
I can ask those
Might
guys.
be kind of fun.
The last time we played was in April of last year, and it was just the three of us. We don't really have a band. That's the thing. It's just, unplugged kind of thing.
What are you missing? A drummer?
Yes.
There's still a few floating around. I'm trying to remember who played drums with you guys.
Billy Blaze.
Right. Oh, yeah.
He played on the album and did a bunch of shows with us. And there were maybe a couple fill-in drummers, but he was the main drummer.
So what was this thing you played in April?
Oh, just a show at the Redwood. We played with one of Christy Cowan's bands. She plays a lot and with her various bands, and so she booked Candypants, or she'll ask Roswell Sisters play. We're still kind of doing that.
Yeah, that's another project I saw you guys on Circe and their little Christian's little video podcast. You were there singing.
Yeah, with the one with Barry Smolin.
I must. Oh, I know. It must. Did you do more than one? That's the only one I remember seeing. I saw and you were there, and I was like, oh, he's just there.
Oh, doing their songs and Susan James was.
Okay, I knew there was another girl in the back with you, and you were singing harmonies. That was cool.
Yeah, that was really fun.
Yeah, they're nice. They're lovely people.
Yes.
Oh,
I think we need to play another Candypants. Sure.
oh yeah. Let me get that going.
Wait
You can't wait.
to hear which one you picked.
What's it going to be? Well, I have one picked out. I already made that happen. Remember this one?
Boys like chicken hard to eat, but I think boys are awfully sweet. Tender like a baby ham, sticky with pineapple jam. Sniff the heady green perfume, clear your plate to make some room. Boys a super crunchy treat, make a cookie hard to beat. Butter up and bake 'em through like a chewy macaroon. Tease the palate with a kiss, then the kettle starts to hiss. I'm so hungry when I see a juicy boy in front of me. Give me 3 square meals a day with for a side dish and entree. Some was quick like sugar pop, pour the milk and scoop it up. Others simmer all day long, bubble up and burn your tongue. Anyway, they're done it right. Smack your lips and take a bite. I'm so hungry when I see a dishy boy in front of me. Give me 3 hot meals a day, a pork fondue and pork fillet. I don't want a sirloin steak, don't give me a chocolate cake. What my tummy needs the most, creamy butter right on my toast. When you nibble to the core, please sir, may I have some more?
Yeah. That's the quintessential Candypants song, I think, right there. That kind of says it all.
You just played Dishy.
Oh boy.
So that song, it's all coming back to me. A friend of mine played it for my old boss, the editor of Hustler, and he said I was sick. That was a very great compliment to
Wow.
receive from the editor of
Well, that was the thing. It's very cute and adorable, but also pretty naughty and flirty,
Mhm.
which that's kind of literally how I would describe you. So, and that's a good thing.
Yes.
Anyone want to back me up on this? I feel bad now.
I could say the same thing about Danny. I think he's naughty but sweet too. So, yeah.
It's a lunch.
Yes.
And that, I'm assuming that's a real B3. I know you have I've seen you do that, haven't you? Not?
Yes.
Wow, that's a commitment, my man.
Oh yeah, Danny used to lug the B3
Yeah.
for live shows and the Leslie
Yeah. Well, the Candypants.
all by yourself.
Just loaded on my back, and I had it in a backpack. I just saw a picture of us playing at Spaceland, and I have the B3 and, and Leslie and all, and a Wurlitzer piano and all this.
Do that.
I don't know what's wrong with me. And
I suggest you stop doing that.
yeah, I kind of I sort
They
of
make fake ones that are pretty good and much lighter.
yeah, but there's something satisfying. It's sort of like playing a lot of those the littler digital things. It's like playing a picture of a guitar, which is sounds good, but it's
Yeah.
hardly satisfying.
Yeah.
Acoustical instruments when something's actually happening when you hit a string and it vibrates, and then the drummer looks at you like, "What the hell are you doing?"
Well, I'll when we're visiting you in the hospital, we'll ask you if it was a satisfying show.
As long as there's no stairs.
Oh,
it's-
that's the deal breaker.
Most of
No
the time it
Madam
is.
Wong's in Chinatown with that B3. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, you should keep a little digital in the back of the van, and if you get to the gig and and you're just like, not today.
And no one will steal it out of the van
It's
unless they have a whole gang.
Was yours chopped? Or?
Nerd gang.
there was a rash of Boyle Heights. This is about like 10 years. 10 years ago. Like the mariachi bands were the guys were like, "Go ahead, steal my tuba," like who wants that? But it was actually a rash of tuba
Oh
stealing.
my gosh.
It was good.
Is that where my tuba went? I thought I just let Probin borrow it. Maybe it got stolen by the mariachi thieves.
They look great in the bandit masks and the outfits, but
Well, I always enjoyed all the Candypants shows and all of your interesting fruit shaped shakers, and
no
Give
one
me things.
no one can
There's
shake a
things.
banana like Lisa.
and your sparkly the short shorts with the sparkles.
Oh, one of those pairs was made by Danny's wife, Sonia.
They should be in a museum or something.
What's that?
They should be in a museum or something.
I think I gave them to Goodwill because I was so sad I couldn't fit into them anymore.
Oh my God. Well, hopefully somebody's filling them out to their maximum potential. That's the world needs.
Always.
While I was out there, the Starbucks over here, somebody ran over a fire plug. So there's a fountain going about 30 feet up in the air.
Oh my gosh.
It was quite the sight.
Like we need more loose water in the neighborhood right now.
I know it's raining.
So, Mike, when this podcast is going to be coming out the end of May, right? That's what the idea is.
I don't.
Well, here's what we know for sure is when the record is coming out.
The record's coming out on June 30. So we formulate a plan of how we're going to drop guys, and I've got some editing to do. It's going to take me some time, but it should be fun. We've done we're going to have done 14 of them this weekend, and there's still a bunch of people that haven't had a chance, and they kind of want to, I think. So we'll probably have to do another day like this, and there's going to be a ton of them, probably just about everybody, and then some extra people too. I think need to. Well, we were kind of hoping that just talking about these things, if anyone's interested, we want to get people thinking about, inquiring about all the work that we all did back then. And now that people are starting to supposedly find this music again, right?
My son talks about that, and he's like in his mid-20s, and he said there's a small group of people that are back into this kind of music.
Wow.
Or at least what's called power pop. Is that accurate, Jamie?
But they do mention the LA bands.
Well, that's
Whatever that means. Okay.
Because so what was Ben Vaughn just posted this article? The headline was "Vinyl outsells CDs for the."
Right.
Yes.
I don't know if that's even related, but
None of us were on vinyl at the time, but we are now. Yeah. Look. These are going. This is what it's.
Oh.
Yes. That's so cool.
Are we gonna get a copy?
Oh yeah, we want to plan a big party or something, some kind of big hang. Mm-hmm. And so if we don't get them to you some other normal traditional way, we'll definitely make sure you get that. There's this is way more fun, right? I'm gonna dip out now and say goodbye for this episode of the podcast. And thank you so much for being here. It was lovely to see you, and I hope we get to play again someday when we all get our bands out of the mothballs. And anything that you guys have planned, I can't wait to hear it and hear about it. That'll be awesome. I have a good feeling about all of
I do.
Yes. Don't you?
Yeah, I do too. And about life.
Things are afoot. Things are afoot. And say hi to Jerry, by the way, and Trixie as well.
I will.
Bye everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.